When Prohibition officially took effect in January of 1920, alcohol was banned across the entire United States. On paper, the Waldorf Astoria appeared to follow the law to the letter. Bars were shut down, wine cellars were supposedly locked, alcohol vanished from menus overnight. But in reality, almost nothing actually changed. Within weeks of Prohibition beginning, the Waldorf Astoria quietly transformed into one of New York's most active underground drinking hubs. The only real difference was discretion. Guests who knew how things worked, who spoke to the right staff, used the right phrases, and had enough money, were served without hesitation. Officially, the men's cafe offered nothing stronger than coffee, soda, or tea. Unofficially, it operated on a private language everyone in the know understood. Ordering a special coffee meant whiskey. Asking for tea with extra sugar meant gin. Drinks were delivered in plain cups, visually identical to legal beverages. To anyone watching, nothing illegal was happening. Law enforcement agents searched the hotel repeatedly and came up empty. There were no visible bottles, no glasses of liquor in public view. Everything was designed to provide plausible deniability. Meanwhile, private rooms quietly appeared in basement areas, reserved exclusively for wealthy patrons. In these spaces, alcohol flowed freely and openly. Hotel management denied responsibility every time. They claimed guests brought their own alcohol, even though the hotel handled storage, service, and billing. Everyone understood the lie, but no one challenged it. The liquor itself came directly from organized crime networks. The Waldorf reportedly paid close to $10,000 a month in protection money, an expense quietly passed on to guests through outrageously inflated drink prices. And with organized crime came violence. In 1923, a liquor supplier was found stabbed to death in a service corridor inside the hotel. Police weren't notified until hours later, long after the area had been cleaned and evidence removed. No arrests were ever made. No official explanation was given. No one needed one. The hypocrisy surrounding Prohibition was impossible to ignore. Politicians who publicly supported the alcohol ban drank illegally inside the Waldorf's private rooms. Judges who sentenced bootleggers attended lavish parties where alcohol was everywhere. Prohibition was never enforced equally. It wasn't designed for the wealthy. It was designed for everyone else. Hotel staff understood the risks of speaking up. Silence wasn't optional. Complaining meant losing your job. Saying too much could mean something far worse. Throughout the 1920s, suicides inside the hotel continued to occur, handled quietly and efficiently to protect reputations. Doctors were called immediately. Families were notified before news spread. Any evidence that could cause scandal was removed. In 1925, a prominent banker took his own life inside the hotel and left behind a note detailing large-scale fraud within his bank. Hotel management recovered the note before police arrived. It was destroyed. His death was officially ruled accidental. His public image remained intact. By the late 1920s, the Waldorf Astoria had become something else entirely, an unofficial stock exchange. Traders met daily inside the hotel, exchanging insider information over illegal drinks. Fortunes were made in private conversations. Confidence grew unchecked. The idea of collapse seemed absurd. That illusion ended in October of 1929. The stock market crashed, prices collapsed, wealth evaporated almost overnight. Panic spread through the hotel. Guests who had been multimillionaires just days earlier suddenly had nothing. Some fled immediately. Others stayed, drinking heavily, unable to process the reality of what had happened. Suicides surged almost instantly. In just the final 2 months of 1929, 7 guests ended their lives inside the hotel. As before, deaths were quietly removed and labeled as accidents whenever possible. Newspapers cooperated. The public was shielded from the truth. The crash devastated the hotel's business. By 1930, occupancy dropped below 50%. Wages were cut twice as unemployment nationwide climbed toward 25%. Employees accepted the reduction simply to survive. Organized crime moved on as alcohol profits dried up. Eventually, the land itself became worth more than the hotel standing on it. The Waldorf Astoria occupied some of the most valuable real estate in Midtown Manhattan, but the building was aging and outdated. By 1929, plans were already underway to sell the property. A buyer emerged with an ambitious vision, constructing the tallest building the world had ever seen. The Astor family sold the site for $16 million. The hotel officially closed its doors on May 1, 1930. A farewell gala drew 1,500 guests, mourning not just a building, but an entire era. Over 1,000 workers lost their jobs with no severance during the worst economic collapse in American history. For many, recovery never came. Demolition began almost immediately. Salvage crews stripped chandeliers, marble, woodwork, and sealed off rooms. Some spaces still contained bootlegging equipment. Others held forgotten belongings, silent reminders of lives that once passed through. As the building came down, its secrets surfaced. By May of 1931, the original Waldorf Astoria no longer existed. Rising in its place was the Empire State Building, completed in record time. It became the tallest structure on Earth, an engineering marvel that opened during the Great Depression, largely empty for years. The contrast was symbolic. The Waldorf represented inherited wealth, excess, and social performance. The Empire State Building represented corporate efficiency and modern capitalism. One was theatrical, the other was transactional. A new Waldorf Astoria opened on Park Avenue in 1931, sleek, modern, and profitable. But it lacked the character that made the original legendary. The workers who sustained the old hotel disappeared from history. The suicides, exploitation, corruption, and suffering were buried beneath nostalgia and glamour. The Waldorf Astoria was magnificent, and it was monstrous. Its beauty cannot be separated from the inequality and exploitation that sustained it. Both realities exist at the same time. Ignoring either one distorts the truth. The building is gone. The people are gone. What remains are the questions it raised about wealth, labor, and justice. Questions that still exist wherever luxury is built on invisible suffering. The Waldorf Astoria vanished in 1930. Its legacy never did.